Myrtles Plantation, USA. The Haunted Plantation in Los Angeles. The horror story began with the tragedy of a black slave named Chloe. She had a habit of eavesdropping on her master's conversation, so she was punished by cutting off her ears. In revenge, she baked a birthday cake and fed poisonous plants to her master, causing his wife and 2 daughters to die miserably. She ran away from home and jumped into the Mississippi River to commit suicide. However, some say she was caught and hanged. Later, the police found the bodies of at least 10 black slaves who had been tortured to death in that house, which has now been renovated into a hotel, but people still experience terrifying events, such as the sound of walking up and down the stairs when no one was walking, a woman in a white dress walking through the door, or the sound of dragging chains in the middle of the night. Chloe, or Chloe, is probably the best-known ghost of the Myrtle family, reported to be a slave of Clark and Sarah Woodruff. According to one story, Clark Woodruff pressured or forced Chloe to be his concubine. Other versions of the legend say that Chloe eavesdropped through the keyhole to hear news of Clark Woodruff's business activities or for other purposes after being caught. By Clark or Sarah Woodruff, one of her ears was cut off and she wore a green headscarf to cover it up. Chloe baked a cake for one of her 2 daughters that contained a boiled and chopped oleander extract, which was highly poisonous. The reason she did so was to be able to work in the house again. The maid who was favored by her mistress became a suspect, with some saying she wanted revenge on the Woodruffs and others saying she was trying to restore her position by saving the family from being poisoned. According to legend, her plan failed, and only Sarah and her 2 daughters ate the cake, and all of them died of poisoning. Chloe was hanged by the other slaves and thrown into the Mississippi River, either as punishment or to escape Clark Woodruff's punishment for keeping her. Although the U.S. federal census confirms that the family owned 5 slaves in 1820 and 32 in 1830, historical documents do not support this legend, as there is no evidence that the Woodruffs owned a slave named Chloe or Chloe. Legends often claim that Sarah and her 2 daughters were poisoned, but Mary Octavia survived into adulthood. Ultimately, Sarah James and Cornelia Woodruff were not killed by poisoning, but rather by yellow fever. While Chloe's story is not entirely accurate, some believe that a woman wearing a green headdress haunts the plantation. There are many other legends about Myrtles. The house is built on a Native American cemetery, and the spirit of a young Native American woman has been reported. During the Civil War, Union soldiers looted the house, and legend has it that 3 people died in the house. There is a rumor that there is a bloodstain on the doorway that is the size of a human body, but it cannot be cleaned. Other legends say that the cleaning staff could not push a mop or broom into the area. A mirror in the house is believed to hold the spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her 2 children. Traditionally, the mirror is kept closed after a death, but legend has it that after the Woodruffs were poisoned, the mirror was overlooked. The mirror is covered and is said to hold the spirits of Sarah and her children, who are sometimes seen or left handprints in the mirror. The plantation is also said to be haunted by the spirit of a young girl who died in 1868, although she was healed by a local voodoo practitioner. She is believed to appear in the room where she died, and she is reported to have practiced voodoo on people sleeping in the room. Another ghost is said to stagger or crawl up the stairs and stop at the 17th step. Some say this is William Drew Winters, the only confirmed murder victim in the house. He was shot on the front porch of the main house, and according to legend he staggered or crawled up the stairs, but fell to his death on the 17th step. Other stories claim he managed to crawl up the stairs, but fell into the arms of his wife on the 17th step. However, this story is disputed.